welcome to Experience Share. It's a podcast starring me, Tanaraquinid.
Araquinid.
AKA Tanner Greenring, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Wishy Joshy.
Wishy-washy.
Good one.
Yeah.
Surely been used before, but ooh.
But it's good.
Wait, no, it couldn't be. This is the first time we've ever met Wishy-washy.
Yeah, isn't it introduced this gen?
Yeah, Wishy Joshy.
It's nice that you have like an anchor, you know, where now you can just pick the totem Pokemon, so you don't have to like flail about trying to pick what Pokemon to use.
Oh yeah, if it works. I mean, Tanner.
Oh yeah, you have to make it work.
Is already pretty tough. You think it's so easy? Look at you, so cocky. Oh yeah, you can always just use the totems.
Well, you know, we've come from creative fields where you know that it sometimes can be a little bit better to have restraints, where you have to work within those restraints to figure out a creative solution.
Welcome to the show. This is Experience Share. We do Pokemon games. We play through each of them. We play the games, and then we talk about the route that we were on that week. I wouldn't say we do it route by route. That's a little granular, but I wouldn't quite say we do it gym by gym either anymore.
Route by route is getting a little closer if we have to replace the tagline. The vast majority of the show is gym by gym, so I don't feel that it's misleading. But
yeah. Route by route feels kind of nice, though.
Route by route. Week by week, route by route.
Ooh, I kind of love it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Let's try it. Let's feel it out.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast. We play through every single Pokemon game, route by route, week by week. You know what the problem is?
I think it's week by week, and then we play through every Pokemon game, week by week, route by route. No, maybe not.
I've also got this like big dumb gummy mouth of mine, and I can't say route in a way that doesn't just
route
sound
by
like
route, week by week,
route by route.
We'll get there.
It's got the right feel though, huh? Feels right.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot better than what we were working with.
Joshua, I'm ready to leave this fucking shithole chunk of like magma rock in the middle of the ocean. Melee Island.
Get me off this. Like,
you know, I heard, this is apocryphal, it might be apocryphal. I heard once that Staten Island was once completely the garbage dump of all of the other boroughs of New York City.
Is it not?
I don't know if that's true, but that's how I feel about Melee Island. So I'm ready to get going. I'm ready to hop on the back of my beautiful, majestic beast off the coast of Heya Beach.
Yeah.
Catch some fucking waves.
Parrot Head is ready to spread his wings on the back of a beautiful, even more beautiful wings of a mantine to get over to Heya. I can't wait to say Heya.
I was out there, Josh, doing all sorts of sick... Okay, so we should probably describe what mantine surfing is.
We've been teasing mantine surf.
As though it's like impossible to figure out.
Yeah, it's right there in the title, mantine surf. So as we alluded to last episode when Tony trapped himself, well, apparently he got his kneecaps knocked out and then dragged onto a boat with Kukui. You can take a boat to get to the next island, Akala, I think, island. Or you can mantine surf. If you only have sun or moon, then you have to take the boat. So,
but if you're like us, if you've decided to go ultra,
you ride the waves.
Ooh, yeah.
And they're beautiful.
I was aggro out there. I was going in the back doors. I was doing Barney's. Oh, sorry, no, Barney means no, never mind. Yeah, I was going up the there's big waves and I was doing bottom turns and then charging the wave pretty choppy. A lot of chunder out there towards the bottom of the breaker. Lots of tentacruels and like rocks.
I think some whalemer maybe? Yeah, were they rocks that are under the water?
If you're bad at mantine surfing, which apparently I'm surprised to learn, I am.
I'm honestly pretty surprised by
genuinely thought I was crushing it.
Performed.
Genuinely thought I was just like absolutely destroying it. I was like, I just don't think I could possibly like hit the stick any faster. You know, like I'm doing a million moves.
I think that I went into Mantine Surf being like, we've been hyping this thing up for weeks now. I'm prepared that it's actually going to be bad. And let me just say, it's better than I thought.
It's great.
It's so well done for any of these mini games that you can find in a Pokemon game. It's probably like the best one that I mean, we're used to like the game corner and slot machines and shit. And now we get Mantine Surf, which has like...
Yeah, it's like a full-on mini game.
And
it's
the
like,
waves look so good. Nintendo's... I've ranted about this, I think, before, but like the best company at animating water. And it looks even great on a 3DS, these tidal waves. And the premise is you get on a little, big Mantine that's got like a sweet little harness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you ride around on it, and then you get a short tutorial where it's essentially like you need to ride the waves, and you can go up by going right, and then you go back down by going left, and you're trying to gather steam by gather momentum.
Trying to find a little sweet spot where you can get far enough up the wave that you're not losing all your momentum, and then shoot back down. But not too far, because at the bottom of the wave, there's all these hazards.
Yeah, and you have to dodge those. And then when you get enough momentum to go back up the wave eventually and pop the wave, the crest of the wave, and then you can do moves like the Huntail Spiral, a Gorbis Spiral. I think we got a Lantern 360 at the end, or I unlocked that, but I haven't actually gotten to do it. And it's like, combos like Tony Hawk style, where after you do like a Huntail Spiral, and then if you throw in another left, then you get a bonus for starting to do another trick. That's basically it.
It's incredible. It's apparently very hard. I'm not very good at getting my speed up. I haven't found that sweet spot quite yet, I guess. But when I do manage to get it up, I can launch some pretty sick tricks.
I mean, that was like, I would say, somewhat of an anomaly. My high score was 18,593. So I finally made it into I think top 3. I'm definitely top 3, maybe number 2 of the high scores, but the one I did after that was like 12,000. So it was definitely like a spike where I finally like hit my stride, but I probably played for like, I don't know, 15 minutes straight. And each run is like, 2 or 3 minutes maybe?
I think I only netted about like 9,200, I think. But you know what?
You must be riding on a Mantike, huh?
Oh, maybe. That could be the issue.
Yeah.
I don't care, because it's not about the points for me. I mean, it is. I'm devastated. I thought I was really good at it. Genuinely thought I was very good at it.
That just comes
It's not about the points for me.
Oh.
It's about getting out there, the freedom, feeling the spray in your face, feeling the sun on your skin, catching some sick air,
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about for me.
And I think, the performance there really just comes from Parrot Head being, connected to the island time. And not really worrying about whether or not he gets the high score. Does he mind that he did? Sure, certainly not.
Just sort of comes naturally to him.
Get another round of pineapple juices on him over at that Heahea Beach bar. But, it's not about winning. This whole season's not really about winning. It's just going with the vibes.
Let's say Heya to Heahea City, hey Josh?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, that was good. That was a better build on what I was working with earlier.
So the other thing about Mantine surfing.
I thought we were done with Mantine Surf. Well, we never will be.
No,
we're going to periodically check in. There's like 4 courses, I think, overall.
When you land at the beach, you discover that you've actually been earning something called BPs.
Oh, yeah.
Which are just battle points.
Yeah.
But they call them beach points down here.
It's a little lazy.
And you can get some pretty nice stuff from the little beach point shop down here for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I already taught Pikachu. God, now I just
Thunderbolt.
No,
no, it's not that big, but they have like pretty nice TMs down here for only 8 BPs, which is only like maybe 4 good runs of Mantine surfing.
What's the bug signal? Why can't I remember this? Signal beam. So my Pikachu already knows Signal Beam. It's great. 8 BP.
Heahea City. We land on the beach, but now we're like find our way to the city proper. Beautiful little town here. Seaside community, got a beautiful big hotel.
Chill vibes.
The terminal is here. There's a mall, which I guess will kind of naturally segue us into our first segment. I went into Heahea Mall, Joshua. I went to a store called the Grisidia shop. Or whatever. It's not a shop. It's just like they have a Grisidia.
It's a pop-up.
And I investigated what a Gracidia is. It's a flower.
Yes.
It's an evolutionary item. Or not an evolutionary item. It's this new thing in Alola. It's a form-changing item.
Yeah, they're all about forms now, just like with Oricorio.
Yes, exactly. There is a tiny little, precious little bean of a Pokemon called Shaman.
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Well, it's most commonly found in its land form, which is a little porcupine.
Yeah,
a little
sweetie.
grass-type porcupine. Definite sweetie.
Yeah.
And absolutely no read. Like, I've got my Dragon Ball Z power scanner on, and I'm looking at landform Shaman.
Right.
And it's giving me nothing on evil. It's giving me nothing on bad
I would say no. No way.
But
you can't even get the damn thing, can you? It's mythical.
If you give landform Shaman the Gracidia flower, it turns into Skyform Shaman. Now go ahead and look up a picture of Skyform Shaman for me.
Oh, I'm looking.
Pretty mean little scowl on his face.
It's mischievous, huh? And a little it's getting into trouble.
Pretty mean little scowl on his face. That's a bad guy, huh?
I don't know. I feel like we're going to run up against this wall multiple times this season, whether it's the naughty versus evil barrier, because it looks like a trickster to me, which isn't necessarily a Puck or a Loki isn't always evil.
They're bad guys.
But it's
you gotta separate bad guy from
nuanced.
Evil.
Yeah.
All right. It's mythical, right?
Well, you can't. I don't even think you can get it. Isn't it? It's an event Pokemon.
I'm just trying to see what I can slip through. What's gonna be allowed? You know.
You're just trying to push that wall specifically.
Feeling out the boundaries. We're both.
I think you're gonna need
territory here,
if you could get this Mon. I think you would need.
Frankly,
to
I'm surprised you haven't been asking me more about cool, chill ass Pokemon.
Well, I kind of have one to talk about later, actually.
By the way, I think Shaman, the ground form Shaman, that's a chill ass Pokemon. Look at that thing.
Yeah, but I can't get it either. This wasn't even on my radar. Somebody could.
It was only because I looked up what
this
us. Thing was. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
A loyal listener could part with an extremely rare Pokemon.
You're not gonna let me have Skyform Shaman, are you?
I think if you could somehow get your hands on it, I think I'd probably allow it.
Okay. Maybe I'll do some bad guy shit.
You're going to just somehow do some bad guy shit and get it?
Oh, yeah, maybe one of the bug catchers has one. They can
trade in all your...
send it to me.
Your leftover... Your piles of Munchlax corpses and Slowpoke tails to...
Whatever the price. Joshua.
Yeah.
I saw what Cosmog evolves into.
How did you see that?
So I don't know.
I didn't see that.
Have you ever seen it? What it evolves into?
I honestly don't remember. I don't
It's
recall.
pretty bonkers. It turns into literally a Bible accurate angel called Cosmoem.
No, I haven't seen that. Am I supposed to look it up or should I wait?
I don't know. Maybe you'd be surprised. We got a lot of pushback on our Cosmog hate a few weeks ago.
Well, do you like the evolve form, you think?
I think it's kind of cool.
It sounds cool. I'm not going to look it up.
It might redeem Cosmog for me because it turns into a pretty cool.
It sounds
like
it's probably evil, and that's why you like it also.
No,
it goes evil, or is it
angel? Well, I don't know. It depends.
I can be your angel or your devil.
He just turns into I don't want to spoil it, but I do want you to see it. Well, I'm just going to tell you. He turns into a big eye.
I didn't even remember that it evolves.
Cosmoem.
Oh, I see. Oh.
And then it evolves into the legendary that's on the box. Spoiler.
Yeah. I don't think... It's kind of I guess, an Eye of Sauron thing, but it's a little too clean. I wouldn't call it bad, like a villain. I still don't really... It's an improvement, but we're starting, pretty low to the ground, I would say.
Well, we're headed to Solgaleo and Lunala, who are both just terrible.
Solgaleo, yeah. Too easy.
They just do too much. It's like a fucking Kingdom Hearts game.
There's a Necrozma situation, which I saw when we played.
Well, let's talk about this later, because I have an You Make Me Barf
game.
Pokemon that I want to try to get to the bottom of with you.
Well,
that I can't make fucking heads or tails
right
of.
now?
No. Okay. Right now we're in Heahea City.
Well, I have a comment. Did you go into the ferry terminal?
I need to, baby. I'm a Mantine surfer.
I still went in there just to see what's up, and you can get some free stuff. And you can also overhear some interesting conversations, one of which is between a man and a child. Unclear why they're talking.
Okay. Is this overheard?
Yeah, overheard. I overheard this man and this kid talking about how there's someone in Johto.
Off in the faraway Johto region, see, there's this amazing craftsman who smiths Pokeballs from special berries.
So they're referencing Kurt, the man I think is. And then the kid's like,
what? Really? You mean they don't all come from the factory in Kalos?
And then they ask you, because they start talking about the GS ball.
Because they see you like sitting there staring at them.
Well, Paradad was a few pineapple juices deep at this point. Been hitting those shaman leaves pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was celebrating after placing in the top 3 on the Mantine Surf. So he kind of just stumbles in here and he's like listening, and then they're like,
"Hey you trainer there, will you listen to this?"
I'm sorry to just spring this on you, but do you know of the rare GS ball?
No, no. You what? Is that any fun? And then the man is like,
yes, the GS ball. It is indeed the greatest Smith's ball. That's why we call it the GS ball. There are those who might call it the gold-silver ball, but...
Which is like a funny, tongue-in-cheek reference to the origins of the GS ball, which I will do a Joshy's Fun Facty for. Okay. First time this season. The GS ball wasn't like actually speaking of an event item that you were able to use to summon Celebi back in Gen 2. So you would get it for, I think it was through Pokemon Crystal specifically was the release in Japan. And then it did make it over outside of Japan as well, I believe. But you get a GS ball from an event. And then if you take the GS ball to Kurt, he then turns it into a ball. And then it's just still the GS ball. And then the rumors were always like, is this simply the gold silver ball? And Game Freak never really commented on it. And so now they're sort of trying to like retcon it as like, oh yeah, like it's the greatest Smith's ball. So it's not like too.
Is this
like,
a ball you can actually get now?
Only no, not anymore because it was an event item. But you can use it. You bring it to. Do you remember in the Ilex Forest there was that little forest shrine? And if you put it, I think you put it in there after Kurt. You're
telling me I take a ball from this game?
No, they're rumor mongering 5 generations later, and they're finally like referencing this controversy of what does the GS ball stand for? Wink.
It would be wild if Pokemon hid something or like put something in a game that wasn't unlocked until 5 gens later. Can you imagine? People would lose their minds.
That would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love that kind of shit.
The red flag beckons us, Joshua.
Yes.
Just down the road is a pretty grand structure that they've erected here.
I'd say so.
The Taizong Hotel, Joshua.
Yes.
Is here atop the hill in the city. It's full of, I don't know, sights and sounds. There's no real story plot here. We're told to go this way because we're still kind of like following Lily.
Yeah, we're sort of like vaguely her protectors, and she wanted to stop by here to cool her heels down south for a while, I guess.
Take a shower.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like what would she would need to stop at a hotel for. Maybe like a big poop.
Yeah, that was it.
I don't know.
And then all that we're left to do while she's taking care of business is we meet a sad sack bellhop who is upset about not getting a job at like the fancier hotel, supposedly.
Yeah.
And wants us to put in a good word for the concierge in Tidesong. And then you can explore the hotel. It looks nice. I would be fine working here if I were a bellhop. I also ran into an interesting character, I would say, on the third floor.
Who's that?
someone who had sort of like a halo-looking, like, big piece of metal sticking out of his head, seemingly. And he was sort of like maniacally laughing and pondering out loud to himself about how Z moves could finally be the secret to attaining the ultimate power. Kind of reminded me, Parrot Head kind of just backed out of there.
No idea. Yeah.
To me, if I could get meta for a second, it sort of reminded me of Colress, if you recall. Colress.
I sort of remember Colress. Was that black and white?
Yeah. That's right. I think it was Getsis's like secondhand man,
like
or
science
something.
officer.
Yeah. The head of chief science officer. That's it.
Well, Colress wasn't the only one in here, Joshua.
Who else?
The only throwback character, because there was also Cena and Dexio.
Dexio. Yeah. Sycamore's assistants.
Yeah, from X and Y.
X and Y, who are like ambiguously on vacation together. They're wearing like Dynamite Cabana clothes, Hawaiian shirts, great giant sunglasses. I don't really.
Yeah.
I think they're here just for a trip.
They're here. And they get
nice
like a cutscene. Like you're pulled into a cutscene with them, and then you battle them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's fully staffed. The entire hotel. This is disgusting and also probably extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
The entire hotel is staffed by Magmars.
This is a common theme because the next part of the leg also has a place that's staffed by Magmar. And this is also where like the concierge tells you to show the bellhop a Magmar, and that's somehow supposed to like calm him down about not getting the other job. There's some weird Magmar. I mean, Skullgrunt is the villain here. Like, do you have any comment on what's going on with this Magmar seemingly illicit like trade that's happening out here?
I think the issue is like so many Pokemon are so human-like, and I think they're like dolphins, or like crows. They're approaching like human-like levels of intelligence. So you can really program a lot of commands into a Magmar.
Oh,
especially if you're like a hotel manager.
And if they're like, room service, they can keep the food just the right temp.
Oh, it would spoil my entire vacation if I'm on Heahea City and Heahea Island, and it's like I'm at it's the second best hotel in the city, but it's still pretty nice. And then I walk in and it's all Magmars. Like, ugh. Like, do you want to sit down for the complimentary dinner? Like 3-course meal prefix. I'm like, no, thank you. I don't have any appetite.
Yeah. Personally, if I were the hotel manager, I would weigh, well, I can keep room service food at the perfect temperature, but also the entire hotel might burn down at any moment. And I would probably say, I'm going to keep the human bellhops and not have Magmars, because that just sounds like a nightmare to sort out with the guests and the insurance companies and the inevitable lawsuits, just to make sure that somebody's hamburger is charbroiled.
Oh, God. Let's talk about Route 4.
No comments.
There's a little side path up here at the top of the hill, because there's all these little winding routes. There's all these little catchable routes. You can catch a lot of like Crabrawler. They really want you to have a Crabrawler in this game.
I somehow have not gotten jumped by one out of the pile of berries yet. I actually haven't been able to capture
every
one.
single time.
Because if abominable, whatever it is, fucking
Snow-bominable,
its evolution, if that weren't so heinous, I would definitely run it. But I did it, as I mentioned, the first time I played Sun, and I just can't look at that damn thing.
What's this bucolic little forest path here?
Off to the west?
Off to the west. It feels like it goes to some kind of like little valley.
Yeah.
I'd love to go inside and find out what's down there.
Me too.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You go down here, you're like, oh, it's called Pikachu Valley. There's all sorts of Pikachus running around, and there's a big Pikachu trailer here.
That's full of more Pikachus.
Surely I'll be able to catch some kind of cool Pikachu.
Yeah.
No, you can't catch anything.
No, there's just a bunch of
you get a frame, which I don't even know what that means. A guy comes up to you, he's like, "Here's a frame. It's a Pikachu themed frame."
Yeah, if you're still
don't know what that means.
Photos.
Oh, I'm not interested in this photo club.
You can
I
get
love Nintendo's
a magnet.
Nintendo's like proclivity for like not even Nintendo's, it's Game Freak's proclivity for including like whatever the latest Nintendo feature is as a mechanic in their games.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
now the 3DS has a like camera, so let's add the photo club. No, thank you.
Yeah,
Not
especially
interested in the
when
photo club.
as soon as they save, once they freeze and then they save, they're so pixelated. You can never make out what is the expression on the Pokemon's face by the time you actually take the photo. And there's like a Pikachu quiz where you can get a Pikachu hat and a Pikachu shirt if you get all the 5 questions right, which I did. Did you? Or do I have to
3
ask?
out of 5.
Jesus.
3 out of 5, and then I just didn't try again.
I think that it's for your character, which Team Skull Grunt would not be wearing anyway. You're not going to be wearing a Pikachu hat. And then the only thing that was cute, I agree. Like Pikachu Valley, why can't you just catch Pikachu?
I wanted it to be so much more. Give me cool Pikachus. Give me Balloon Pikachu from Snap.
The only thing that is kind of a nice set piece, I mean, it's a nice set piece in general, but off in the background, I don't know if you read in the trainer's school, Tanner, but there was a book that was like a choose your own adventure, and it was about a Pikachu, a Slowpoke, and a Pyukumuku, the like sea cucumber one.
Pyukumuku.
And it's a story that sets up as like, this trio of friends wanted to set out on an adventure for the day, and then you could choose your own adventure, where it's like, what should they pack? And it's like, a super potion or like whatever berries, and then they like there's different outcomes, and they either don't make it out or they do. And in the backdrop of this valley, in the far left corner, you can see a Pikachu and a Slowpoke and a Pyukumuku like hanging out, and I thought that was kind of a nice reference. And then when I was Googling it, there's a set that was in Japan, I think. Only.
I'm seeing it and I'm loving it.
Of
although I do not
buds.
like Pyukumuku.
No, I don't either, but I like when they make it worthwhile to like read the little books and like interact with the doodads throughout, the buildings you go into, and then you get rewarded by seeing this little set piece. That was really the main drawing point for me here.
Oh my god.
What are you going to buy?
This figurine that you've sent me, first of all, is pretty inexpensive.
There's a bunch of them.
Second of all, it has made very clear to me why Pyukumuku is called Pyukumuku. And it's because it's barfing.
It does look like it's barfing, yeah.
It's explicitly barfing. It's got barf around its mouth. That's why it's called Pyukumuku.
Pyukumuku. And is that... Obviously, I could never run one of those.
Absolutely not.
Is that part of its... It doesn't even evolve. I mean, this is just like, come on, man.
It does evolve, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, I thought this is what evolved into that big, like, sea mushroom thing.
It spits its organs out to attack.
That's why it's called Pyukumuku.
And they form, in the anime, it forms like a big fist.
Absolutely not. You Make Me Barf. I already have 2 other You Make Me Barfs this episode that are coming up later, but welcome to the fucking club, Pyukumuku. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I don't like this either.
I could have sworn Pyukumuku turned into that
fucking disgusting
sea
barnacle
cucumber thing. Because it's also a sea cucumber.
It is a sea cucumber. It's like, it's like an anemone. No, it's like an anemone. That other one. I hate that thing.
I think I can run that. Oh, I hate Pyukumuku.
Mararni.
I guess if you run it, you can see the organs come out of its mouth. Like it attacks with the organs.
Well, I'm not interested in seeing that.
No, I'm not either.
Let's move on.
Welcome to the club, Pyukumuku. But I do love this little toy that you sent. Paniola Town, Westworld.
Yeah, Westworld. This is not a Westworld
Come
podcast.
here. God, it would be so much more successful if it were. Welcome to Westworld. You come here, you have sex with robot prostitutes, and you like shoot people, and it makes you feel powerful.
Yeah, you holster up some Remerades and just go to fucking town.
I was gonna say I've never seen it, but that's not true. I saw the entire first season. I just don't remember any of it.
Just never watch beyond that.
Okay,
I've gone down with the ship. It's not worth it.
This place is, I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a delight.
It's like Wild West.
Yeah, it's just a really well done, again, like set piece. Yeah.
Wait, Joshua.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. New one, huh? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just right in mid-sentence.
Just interrupt me. It's very, very polite of you.
See you in a second. Joshua, I roasted you by interrupting you to go to break. Let's talk about Paniola Town.
Roast me just like the Magmars in this B&B are doing to it.
There's something up with the beds.
I started paying attention to this even on the first leg because of our pal Pokemaniacal Chris DM'd it just ominously, I would say. Make sure to check out the beds. And I was like, okay. I like that you're not giving me any further information about that. So I checked one on I don't remember. It's one of the first routes. And there's some building where this dad who is lamenting his son who ran away. I think because he was a negligent father. Yeah. It's implied. And you can wander around his sad house. And if you go up into the kids' room and you click on the bed and you get in it. And then it says, the dialogue is, there is the sad, musty odor of an old bed that no one has slept in for a long time. Yeah. And then that's it.
It's a prop. It's a prop in Westworld.
Stuff going on with these beds. Because the bed here, one of the beds at least, in this B&B says, the bed looks fresh and clean, but you can still detect a faint whiff of ... sweat?
Yeah, it'd be weird if a robot was sweating. Unless it was a person. Yeah. Isn't that the whole point of Westworld?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a very weird Easter egg with these beds.
Pretty bizarre.
And what do you mean sweat ? After an ellipses is troubling, I would say.
I wonder if it's an odd translation.
Yeah, definitely. It's don't run a black light on this bed.
I want to talk about something else I saw in Paniola Town, Joshua, and I think it's probably going to upset you greatly.
Okay. I saw something that I really liked out here on the ranch outside of Paniola Town.
It's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week. And it's called Mudbray.
And it's my sweetie. It's Joshy's sweetie is Mudbray.
I can't believe you like this thing.
What's not to like about a little tiny sweetie donkey?
It's pretty ugly, first of all. And I think it grows into something pretty upsetting at the very least.
Mudsdale?
Yeah. I don't like Mudsdale's look.
I think it looks like BoJack Horseman now that I'm looking at the illustration. I ran a Mudsdale when I played and I loved it.
Really? I don't like its look.
It's I think signature move, high horsepower, is incredibly good.
Definitely a bad guy.
Learns, yeah, I mean, that's so... My overall comment was that I was lamenting that I don't think I can figure out a way of shoehorning Mudsdale into being part of Parrot Head's flock.
I think I probably could. Definitely looks like a bad guy.
Horse isn't really gonna vibe. Mudbray, the donkey, I think would kind of fit. I mean, it looks high.
So ugly, and it's got
its
weird
eyes
little
look high,
goat eyes, yeah.
Button eyes. It's got big ears and a dumb face. I think this is cute. I feel like this is a Numble situation where I don't really understand what your problem is.
Well, it's also and I feel like in the context of Paniola
the bug catchers
Ranch,
would back me up on this one.
Let me explain. In the context of Paniola Ranch, you're seeing one of three Pokemon in pretty equal parts. You're seeing Miltank, you're seeing Tauros, and you're seeing Mudbray. And I think what they've done is they've quietly introduced a new legendary trio. Ugly farm animals.
I mean, I would say Mudbray is, I think, a lot better than those other two, but I like the livestock, legendary livestock.
The legendary livestock. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow, that needs to be the new figurine, the legendary livestock.
I'd check it out. That's another free one for Game Freak.
The other thing we get out here at Paniola Ranch, Joshua, is an upgrade to something that was already a very useful tool in my arsenal, which is the ride pager.
Oh, yeah.
And gone is the item finder, and despite the fact that this segment that I'm about to launch into is called Item Finder. Because now we have Stoutland Search.
Right.
That's my item finder.
Well, the item finder still lives on, because we're just commenting on this new type of item, I guess.
Well,
the ride pager,
the item finder is gone, because it's been replaced by the Stoutland Search.
Oh, yeah.
But the segment is still
Stoutland
called
Search is the new item finder.
Item Finder.
Or dowsing machine. Definitely, I still like the item finder where it would just vibrate whenever you were nearby, which I guess was maybe dowsing machine, one of the iterations of dowsing machine. But this one is top tier. It's probably the second best Stoutland Search because you get faster movement out of it. But the issue is Stoutland will like only let you know if you're near an item if you're holding B, right? Like you have to already think that you're around an item, and there's no way to tell. Like it barks, which is kind of sweet, but
you can like tap it, as you're jogging along. Because he also has a sprint mode, which is pretty quick. Not as quick as Tauros.
Yeah,
we should also say
Stoutland, I think, is the best rider that we have so far.
We will
compared to Tauros.
Talk about this more a little bit later, but we also get the addition of Lapras Paddle later during the trial, which is a replacement for the Surf HM.
So no more HM friends. R.I.P.
I'll miss them. But what a thing this thing is, the Ride Pager. I'm so curious about this Megacorp, this Corpo, this secretive Corpo behind it.
Yeah, they're making a pretty powerful entrance onto the scene.
I'm worried it's going to end up being the bad guy because we still haven't learned about this like shadowy organization that's trying to capture Lily and Cosmog.
Right.
I'm worried about it because I'm loving the items they're giving me.
Well, you wouldn't be worried about it. Well, the Skull Grunt wouldn't be worried. He'd be into it.
Oh,
he's like, I hope that this organization is evil with these great products.
We don't need a competing organization. I'm like trying to be the head of Team Skull. I don't want competition.
Right, yeah.
So you wind your way through Paniola Ranch to Route 5.
My only thing I was going to comment on is actually a retraction, because I went into a dialogue where I was like, all right, well, here's going to be my trainer danger. Because this gentleman Gerald opens a battle by saying, all right, trial goer, have a look at my kid. And then he throws out a Sableye.
Oh, ghost type.
Like there's no kid next to him.
Ghost type.
And
dead kid.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I wasn't going to give a trainer danger because after you beat him, he says, or murder his already dead child, potentially. Now this is very tricky. He says,
trainer and Pokemon are like parent and child. Just seeing them cheerful makes you happy.
So I was like, okay, well, like, I don't know, maybe there is something a little deranged going on here now that...
Is Sableye ghost type?
Saying
I remember
Tanner,
that. I just ran one last season, but
it's Dark Ghost.
Yeah, it's a ghost kid. That's
Isn't
his kid.
It the classic matchup mayhem? We can never remember what Sableye is.
Probably.
Dark Ghost. I finally got it.
Nailed it though.
Yeah, that's interesting because it was very strange. But I'm going to leave him alone.
Team Skull encountered a new character this week, an intriguing new character who introduced a number of new potential Pokemon picks, too, including my now third You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week.
Wow.
So the character is called...
Gladion.
Gladion.
Gladion. I like Gladion personally, but...
They are some, like, higher up. And does he ever say who he is? He's an enforcer. He's described as an enforcer.
He gets accosted by two grunts and kind of bullied by them because it seems like he really wants to be in Team Skull. He's sort of like you, but they don't want him.
Gladion's in Team Skull.
I think he had some kind of weird relationship with him, though.
No,
with
described
Team
as
Skull.
a Team Skull enforcer. I think he's like a super high up in the organization. Anyway, he comes out swinging with a Zubat that turns out to be a Zorua.
Yeah.
Tricked me. Oh, by the way, quick side quest here. I'm still playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, you're actively still doing it?
Yeah, I couldn't quite give it up.
I've booted it up a couple more times since our last episode.
My little wristband that I use for spinning Pokestops and catching Pokemon automatically stopped working. And after some investigation, I discovered that they had to temporarily disable all Bluetooth devices because they introduced Zorua to the game.
Yeah.
And when you first encounter a Zorua, it's your partner Pokemon. It's your companion. It looks like your companion Pokemon.
Oh,
and
interesting.
People with automatic catchers were just catching copies of their companion Pokemon.
Oh my god.
So they had to disable all of those and like roll back a bunch of rules because everyone suddenly had like 1,000 Groudons, you know?
Jesus. That's funny.
What a mess.
That
But anyway,
interactivity.
Gladion has got this
Speaking of a mess, this team.
type of this Pokemon that is a newcomer to the list and something I can potentially catch. Although it is my You Make Me Barf Pokemon, so I never will. It also I can't quite wrap my head around it. It's called Type Null.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
A mess.
Is this a Pokemon?
Does it get a number? Yeah, I think it gets a number. So
Yeah, it's number
officially a
772.
Pokemon.
It's Bulbapedia page describes it as a synthetic Pokemon. For those of you who aren't in the know, it's got like a Vaporeon body, like claw legs in the front, and then it's wearing like a big cowl and like
It's got sort of like a
Man in the Iron Mask like headpiece with a big axe on top of it. I just can't make heads or tails of this thing.
Yeah, and it has kind of, when you read the Pokédex entries, it's got kind of a Mewtwo story where it's like a Pokemon weapon that was developed for a specific mission, and then it went berserk during an experiment, and it was then cryogenically frozen.
Well, guess what? Gladius has taken it out of...
And the
deep
mask,
freeze.
it controls it, which was like armored Mewtwo as well.
It evolves into something that is not wearing the mask. But I don't like it. It's my
Stop spoiling yourself.
Looks stupid. And Gladion was kind of a joke.
I wouldn't run one, no.
Can you even run one? Like, can you catch these?
Perhaps.
Is it a bad guy?
I think it's clearly a bad guy.
Oh, I mean, it's on my team either way because Team Skull someone was using it. Or it can be on my team either way. I'm not going to run it. Well,
I think it's implied that its head has a control mask on it. So I think without the control mask, it would be, on a rampage, and it would be very bad.
Good point.
So without the mask, maybe it's not a baddie. With the mask, maybe it's not a baddie, but...
One more stop, Joshua. Brooklet Hill. So we should say we met...
Brooklyn Hill?
Brooklet Hill.
Yeah.
Hill. We met the trial captain, Lana.
Lana Del Rey,
when
yeah.
we first arrived. And some other one, who I think is maybe the next one, trial captain. I think they're girlfriends.
I hope so.
Lana is water type gym leader. I don't know what you want to call these things.
We're
doing a trial.
We don't get to battle her. Like,
No.
she's associated with water, but we don't even know what she has.
We're doing a totem trial. So this is a kind of series of descending hills, and on each of them is a little pool. And she gives you the Lapras paddle, so you can go around and stir up these little
So we
schools
can
of wishy-washy.
Summon Lapras with our ride pager.
Yep, and go stir up little schools of
Wishy-washies.
in the effort to drive them all down to the bottom of the thing. I don't know why.
It's like gully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you get down there, it's...
Because it's Lana, so we're playing some video games, huh?
It's the big totem Pokemon,
Lana
and
Del Rey?
mine was
Okay.
Araquanid.
Oh, yours is Araquanid too?
Yeah. Was yours?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's Araquanid in both? Why was it different last time, but it's the same this time?
Yeah, I assumed you had Wishy-Washy that would turn into its school form, and that's what you fought.
No, I had an
Interesting.
Araquanid. No, it's Araquanid in both games.
Okay.
What is this?
Well, great.
I want this school wishy-washy form. What are you talking about?
Yeah, school
like a big
Wishy-Washy
Wishy-Washy?
form is really good. But I've never I haven't seen it in the wild. I kind of assumed that's what you would get. You would assume in general because you're chasing Wishy-Washy down the whole time. Although Dupiters also show up.
And then what we get at the bottom is
You assume you're going to fight the big Wishy-Washy, but you fight Araquanid.
And it is hard.
As hard to look at as it is hard to say and fight.
It was a difficult battle, honestly.
Oh, it was really tough.
Yeah.
I think I lost.
And my levels are better than yours.
I was down to 2 Mon, and
Me too.
I had to revive Pikachu twice in order to do it. I was sacrificing Mon.
I was toting an egg, so I was already down a Mon. Someone gives you an egg at some point.
Yeah. There's like a breeder at the Paniola Ranch.
Yeah.
I had it for a little bit, and then I was like, I don't want to run the risk of not being able to actually use this thing, and I just boxed it.
I don't know what's in there, but well, I do now because it's since hatched. But it hatched as I was running back to the beach to see if I could figure out what my high score was. It's an Eevee.
Oh, I can run that.
Yeah,
I can run one of those.
I've got my. I can potentially go for an Umbreon.
They're chill. They'd fit in. I don't know which one, but
that'd be cool.
One of those Eevee evolutions would definitely fit in Parrot Head's team, don't you think?
Yeah.
If not all of them. I'm not going to pull another Brevander, but there should be a poison one also. Yeah.
I was down a man, but this Araquanid keeps calling allies. First of all, huge pain in the ass. It seems like it's got a million hit
so points. Many Dewpiters. It's got Leech Life was so good.
Apparently. Oh yeah, it's Leech Life is great. Anyway, it's super tough, but then you beat it, of course, because we're fun.
Aurora Beam. That was my problem because I have so many fucking birds.
Oh yeah. Then Lana comes out and gives you the Waterium Z.
And does a little dance.
I realized at that point that I don't have any water type Pokemon on my team, and I have a question for you, Joshua, because I encountered this. Because Lana also gives you Fishing Rod. And I guess we need a new segment called Item Loser.
Yeah.
Which is us. We're the losers this week because we lost that good rod. They've done away with the tiered rod system, apparently. Now there's just one fishing rod, and now we have it.
Rest in petals.
Which I could use to catch a potential bad guy. You tell me. Genuinely curious about this one. I think if I were running any other character, I would say, of course not. But I see the merits of it being a bad guy. It's called Poliwrath.
Oh, and it happens to be Tanner's favorite Pokemon.
Well, go take a look at it, Joshua. Really
get
a look at
Wrath in the name.
And what would you describe his stance, his sort of like posture?
Aggressive.
And what would you say his eyes look like? Happy?
Kind of
pleased?
No, a little angry. Miffed.
And I got news for you, Joshua.
But he's got the big mitts that are sort of like, don't look that evil.
That's rap. That's like boxing rap. That's like Muay Thai rap, you know? That's his fists.
Capable of crossing the Pacific Ocean just by kicking. That's the gold entry. It's a little pushing it to the limit.
And it confirms that the Pacific Ocean is in the Pokemon games.
That's interesting.
Which I guess we knew. Except where's Alola?
we could imply that one. Well, I feel like Alola's got to be in the Pacific Ocean.
Well, I've never seen it on any map. Joshua,
I'm just trying to read some of
Let's get back to the
its
point at hand. He's pissed. He's mean. And I got news for you. The thing in his belly, the little swirl, that's poop.
That's poop?
Because it's based on like this translucent tadpole that you can see its digestive tract through its body, and it swirls around, and it's full of poop.
And that makes it more evil to you?
It makes it more of a bad guy.
What you're
so hung up on this evil thing, huh? It's not
Why
evil.
is
it's
the
bad guy.
Translucent poop
It's gross.
Bad guy?
It's gross.
'Cause it's gross?
Something you'd expect a Team Skull to have.
I'm trying to look at the facts. I'm looking at the Pokédex entries.
I'm telling you about the facts.
And I don't see anything that's saying, it's just talking about how it's a gifted swimmer. It's got extremely tough muscles.
That's a little bad guy.
Highly developed brawny muscles.
Yikes.
A swimmer adept at both the front crawl and breaststroke. It's very...
So he knows how to swim, established. But is he a bad guy?
Do I think that it could be bad? Yeah. Do I think by nature it's bad? No. But I think you could push Poliwrath in the wrong direction and that thing flies off the handle and it snaps.
All right, I don't think that's going to qualify for me. Any Pokemon could go bad if you push him. He's not in. He's a good guy. And you know what? Secretly, Tanner is relieved about that. I don't want Poliwrath to be a bad guy. He's just grumpy.
Yeah, that grumpy is more correct to me.
Fine, I'll have to find some other water type to run. I got bad news for you. It's going to be that big ass bug.
Araquanid?
No. It's Isopod.
Oh, that thing's evil for sure. I mean, bad. Okay, I'll stop using evil as much.
Let's talk about the teams that were so efficiently eviscerated by, or nearly eviscerated by Araquanid this week in level check.
Level check. Who does Skullgrunt have? I feel like I opened up last time.
No new additions. Mirror B, Rockruff, level 23. Admin Courtney, Alolan Grimer, level 25. Just grinding that one out. Got to get it to buck.
Still got a ways to go.
Ariana, Vullaby. Don't know why we kept calling it Vullaby last week. It's clearly a pun on Lullaby. Ariana, Vullaby.
That's a good point.
Level 23.
Yeah, Vullaby.
Giovanni, Torracat, level 26. Commander Mars, Lopunny, level 25. And Egg. No level given. At the time of the trial, it has since evolved into a level 1 Eevee. Named... I don't remember. After one of the
I'm probably going to have to get one of those out.
Zinzalin. I named it Zinzalin.
Zinzalin, yeah. Oh, you're cracking the 7 Sages, so you're probably going to keep this Eevee around. What's the most evil one, though?
Umbreon I can just run, because it's dark.
Umbreon, definitely.
But maybe some of these other Eevees we could make a pretty compelling case for them being evil.
I think it's kind of tough.
Sorry, bad guys.
I think it's kind of tough.
Espeon's got sort of a dark energy to her.
Yeah. Espeon, I think, is the easiest beyond Umbreon.
Jolteon's got a mean look to him. Look at him.
Yeah.
A little cranky.
Yeah, it's kind of got a hard edge, Jolteon. Beyond that, I think it's pretty tough.
You gonna give me Jolteon?
Glaceon, Sylveon, Leafeon, Vaporeon are all clear.
I'm going to tell you this right now, Joshua.
Flareon's a little questionable.
Because you're one of my closest friends in the world.
Oh, right back at you.
I don't have many electric type Pokemon. So you probably do not want to give me Jolteon. Because your team is all birds.
I mean, I would have the same... it's not my favorite, but
I'm
would
not
have
sure
the
I have
same
access to any
thing as... you with Poliwrath about Jolteon, where I don't really want Jolteon to be a baddie because I really like Jolteon. I think you can dive into look up Jolteon feels like it's on the fence where maybe in the anime or the manga or something, Team Rocket had a Jolteon. I think you could probably expand your purview a little bit.
I don't think I have access to a single electric type Pokemon.
Umbreon for sure, and then Espeon probably. But beyond that, I need kind of a case. How could you not have any other options?
I'm looking. Rotom, if one of the Rotoms is evil.
Isn't there a kind of a baddie cat looking that's electric?
No, I don't have any electrics. Oh wait, what's this? Is this in this game? More Pico. No, Gen 8. No, I got nothing.
Electivire. That would work. That's evil.
Oh, yeah, that's evil. Absolutely not. No way in hell am I going to run an Electivire. Get out of here, Joshua.
Oh, you're going to draw the line. You can't deal with that?
Absolutely not.
What about Galvantula?
Yeah, good idea.
It's a spider.
I'll bring a big bug into a fight with a bunch of birds.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Did you already do your team? Let's hear about Parrothead's
Vikavolt, maybe you could make an argument there.
Tell me what Parrothead's team is.
Oh, Zeraora is what I was thinking of.
What?
I think it's a legendary. Zeraora.
Tell me about your team.
Okay. Parrothead, who is looking for Pokemon with similar vibes, just trying to chill, grill, and hopefully not spill their drinks while they tour the Alolan Islands and surf them. Jimmy is a Pikachu now, level 24.
What is this Sonic the Hedgehog ass thing you just sent me?
I think it's got some evil vibes, Zeraora.
They just screwed up and accidentally made a Sonic character as event only.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Hoot is Dartrix, level 25. Mm-hmm. Calamari is Inkay, level 22. Then I'm going to have to look into how that evolves with the flipping the DS upside down thing pretty soon, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Fruitcakes, Noibat, level 20. Won't be evolving for another 28 levels. Cheeseburger in Munchlax is level 20. And then newcomer is Tango the Trumbeak, level 18.
Ooh, I love that. And I can't wait till you get a Toucanon because that is a funny little guy.
I feel like Toucanon is I maybe have to have it the entire time. I mean, look at it. Also, I got one. I caught the Picky
He's like
Peck
a
that has
living, it's like a a prop you'd see in a Margaritaville restaurant, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when I went to Jones Beach for the most iconic concert he does every year, there were multiple people who had the little like stands with a fake parrot on them, including like macaws, toucans. Yeah. They would just post up at like their tailgate, and then they'd have out, you know, some kind of a exotic bird. And that was where, when my friend and I went, we showed up late and we were like, oh, could we have one of those like hot dogs and the corn on the cob there? And then the guy with the parrot was like, yeah, as long as you'll take a shot. And we were like, what kind of a negotiation is this? You're just giving us more shit for free? And that's when I knew parrot heads were my people. And that's where this character comes from.
Wow. So honestly, like if you were 500 miles to the west, you could have just as easily been a juggalo.
Probably.
You know? Just like welcomed into their little like
susceptible
coven.
Definitely susceptible. And I got the Picky Peck that has Skill Link, which is one of the abilities where if you have one of those multiple attacking moves, it will attack 5 times every time. And I know that Toucanon can learn like Bullet Seed and Rock Blast.
Oh yeah. That's what its whole point is.
So I think it's gonna be fun.
Shoots out of its little nose.
Yeah.
I was curious about the little dot on its nose, and I thought
on Toucanon?
Yeah. And I thought it looked like something musical, like a musical note or something. And I was like, was this thing supposed to be the evolution of, what was that little thing called? Chat Tot?
Yeah, Chat Tot. Oh, yeah.
Maybe this thing was supposed to originally be the evolution of Chat Tot, but it got pushed back a generation. So I went to its Bulbapedia page and looked, and here's a Tanny's Facty from Bulbapedia. Toucans and woodpeckers, they're both members of the same Picaformes order of birds. That's why it starts as a woodpecker and turns into a toucan.
Oh, that's nice. I was curious about how that worked.
Pretty interesting.
Also, scroll up a little. Look at the shiny version of this thing.
Incredible.
The shiny version of Toucanon is so good. It's like shades of blue to purple to magenta to pink, and then it's got blue cheeks.
Toucanon, I love it. I can't wait for that thing to be on your team.
Yeah, I think it's going to be sticking around, Tango.
And I say that as someone who has no access to electrics at all. Joshua.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yes.
Let's do a quick totem tally. 23.
Oh, totem tally. The totem stickers. I think it's 21 for me.
I went and got that big, dumb Alolan Raticate.
I didn't cash in yet.
And then I was looking up what's next at 40. It's just an Araquanid for me. And you get the, like, arguably maybe the coolest Pokemon in this entire fucking game. Like, Spirit Dancer Marowak.
Really?
So
Alolan Marowak is a looker, but not for me.
I know.
Maybe you could try to cut Parrot Head as some kind of a deal, because I think Alolan Marowak would fit in on an evil team pretty easily. Sorry, bad guy team.
I'll give you like 10 grams of Shyman Bud. If you send me Alolan Marowak.
All right. Yeah, I think we can make that work.
I'm a sticker hunting fiend, buddy. No way. I'm getting all 100 of these dang things.
Did you already get the ones that were like in the water? Like, where are you getting these other 2 that I don't have? Because I don't think I've missed any.
I don't know, but I've got 23.
God. Oh, God. I don't want to have to go back and find them.
You're missing a couple.
Yeah.
Joshua, that's it for the leg. That's all we did this week. We got through that dang trial.
We did it.
Thank you for joining us, Bug Catchers, and thank you for joining me, Joshua. Please do rate and review the show everywhere that you rate and review podcasts, and do follow the show everywhere that you follow podcasts, and do follow us at EXPSharePod on Twitter and Instagram.
And check out our subreddit, reddit.com/r/bugcatchers, where you can compete for Trainer of the Week, which is the level check for the community, hosted by our pal Mike Lubine, who is also the moderator there. And at the end of that, if you get the most upvotes, you can battle us, which we will also update everyone shortly about who won in the ORAS season, and we will set up that battle and then recount it on here.
Yep.
And then you can also buy some merch at expsharemerch.com. And
which Josh and I just discovered that we had two previous, maybe potentially 2 or 3 previously unpublished pieces of merch that we just never put up in the store. So maybe we'll get those up there too.
We're going to get those up pretty soon because Tanner has some stickers of one of them accidentally, and it is very good looking. Yeah. And you can also vote today, Tuesday, November 8th.
Yeah, and you should.
You really should.
You have to. You're not allowed to listen to the show unless you do. And assuming the world is still here next week, we will be headed to Kauai's trial.
That's right. And we will be joined by Daniel Dockery, who's the author of Monster Kids, a book that came out just a couple of weeks ago that is a history of the beginnings of Pokemon and sort of going into the end of like Gen 2 and beginning of Gen 3. So it's really focused on the frenzy that all surrounded the launch of Pokemon days in Japan and, yes, the Mr. Squirt days over to the US, and touches on a lot of, like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z. It's a very good read if you're interested in learning more about from just the perspective of like what was going on in the world beyond like when we were all just playing the games ourselves. And he's going to join us to talk about Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah, we're excited to have him on.
And you can also buy that book, Monster Kids.
In bookstores now.
In bookstores now and online as well.
Joshua, Bug Catchers, Alola.
Alola. And smell you later.